Hey bookworms, welcome back. Goodnight Nobody is a book by Jeniffer Weiner, and I don't think a lot of people know that this book exists. I think it's kind of forgotten, maybe underrated, because I think a lot of people know Jeniffer Weiner from her other books like Good in Bed and In Her Shoes, and not a lot of people know Goodnight Nobody. I had no idea this book exists. I accidentally saw it in this big sale of books, really cheap books, accidentally saw it, recognized the author's name, and honestly I wasn't very impressed because she's mostly known for chick lit, and personally it's just not my cup of tea. I don't really like chick lit. The only exception is when they are being written by this New York, or at least big city women who are Jewish. I don't know what it is about them, but they really seem to have it when it comes to chick lit. So anyway, I saw the book, I saw the author's name, I decided to read the back cover, and I thought to myself, you know what, that seems pretty cool, and I decided to give it a chance and to read it, and guess what, the book was indeed pretty cool. This book automatically reminded me of two things, which by the way also reminded me of one another when I was watching them. The first one is the movie American Beauty, and the second one was the first season of Desperate Housewives. All three are about this illusion of the suburbs. They all occur there in this place which seems so perfect. Only the most perfect, calmest, friendliest people live there, and they have this perfect lives and everything. Just the word perfect just appear a lot there. And American Beauty's tagline is look closer, and I think this tagline is absolutely perfect for all three works, because the moment you actually look closer or move in there and actually get to see the people who live there in suburbia, you get to see that it's not as flawless as it seems from the outside. You get to see the lies, the sadness, the imperfections, which obviously exist in everywhere around the world, from the big city to the countryside, but something about the suburbs which presents itself as such a fantastic, perfect place just makes this bursting of this bubble so much more, to have much more impact. And this is what Goodnight Nobody is about. The book protagonist is Kate. Now, she used to be this really cool New York reporter, then she got married and had kids and moved to suburbia. Now her kids drive her nuts. It seems like her husband is never home, and everyone around her are these perfect suburban soccer moms stereotype. I'm pretty sure you know the type. They are the ones who are still skinny after 2 childbirth. They have all the time in the world to be with their kids and be the perfect mom, the soccer mom, and still have time to go to the gym and do yoga, so they look great, but everything they own is squeaky clean. They're also the perfect housewife and the perfect mother and the perfect wife, and just everything just works out for them. And on the other hand, we have Kate, kind of to balance things out, to make it a little less I don't know, girly or suburban, because in her mind she's still a very big city girl, and her car is a mess. Everything is full of crumbs, and she still have fat on her thighs from the childbirth and everything. But everyone around her, all the other women, seem to be perfect. But one sunny day, one of these perfect women is murdered. Tell me that doesn't remind you of the beginning of Desperate Housewives. And by the way, if you liked Desperate Housewives, you would love Goodnight Nobody. And for me personally, it was a plus in the book that it lacked the whole soap opera style that they have in the show. Everyone is cheating on everybody. And I personally think that the first season of Desperate Housewives was the only good season in the entire show. So if you're kind of like me in this opinion, you would probably love Goodnight Nobody. So going back to the book, Katie's obviously shocked from this experience, this murder, but her inner reporter starts to kick in, and she decided to investigate and to see what happened and why was this woman murdered. And obviously, as you can probably imagine, we find out that her life, as much as the life of her neighbors, was not as perfect and flawless as it seemed from the outside. Now, as you can probably imagine, my opinion of this book is a pretty good one. It's a chick lit, but it doesn't try to be anything that it's not. It's fun. On one hand, it's fun, it's light, you know, a chick lit. But on the other hand, it kind of tries to put a mirror in front of us as a society, but in a light way. And you got the third side, where you have this really cool murder mystery, and if you know me, you know I like my good murder mysteries. Everything else in this book, you know, the plot line, the characters, the suspense, still on the same line of, on one hand, being very light and funny and not depressing, but on the other hand, it's not stupid, it's not dumb, it's a little bit of a more of a sophisticated kind of a humor, a little bit, because we have Kate there to balance things out, and she's, you know, the New Yorker Jew, and they're always cool. I would generally recommend this book to most women. You don't have to be a girly girl in order to like it. Once again, Desperate Housewife is a keyword. If you like the show, you will like this book. Obviously, it's aimed for women. It's much less aimed for men. If you're a guy and you want to read it, go ahead. But generally, once again, it was very cool. It was a very entertaining book. It has the suspense and the thrill. And by the way, when it came to the mystery itself, I was thrilled and I felt the suspense, and at the end all the loose ends are being tied and everything makes sense, which is what you want in a good mystery. It was a very entertaining mystery. So generally, I really like this book and I recommend it. And that's all I have to say about this book. So my question for you today is your opinion on chick lits, or generally about books that are more lighthearted or funny. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are you somewhere in the middle? For me, I don't mind them. I don't usually gravitate toward chick lits or generally books that are more light and funny. They have to be a little more sophisticated. That's why I usually like more the British humor than the American kind of humor. But as I said, if a Jewish woman from the big city written this chick lit, there is a very big chance that I will enjoy it. Like Devil Wears Prada. By the way, do you have any recommendation for me for a good chick lit in this categorization? So guys, write me what you think in the comments below, like this video, subscribe to my channel if you dare, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.